Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Ark Survival Evolved video. So, in the previous videos that I've made on Ark Fjordur, I have mentioned how awesome that the bats are as far as their taming and their invisibility goes, for making them one of the top tames for this map to help you with taming, or to get things like wyvern eggs and magmasaur eggs and rock drake eggs and so on and so forth. We've talked about the sanguine elixir, which allows you to do a 30% tame pretty much right away. But in this video, we're going to actually show you how to go and get one of these bats for yourselves. So the bats are located in numerous caves around the islands, but this particular one, the waterfall cave, is one of the best caves that you can use to possibly get one of these without dying, most likely. So one of the things that you're going to need is blood packs. Depending on if you're on 1 times or 2 times taming, you are going to need a lot of them. I typically bring about 100 anytime I come in here for taming a bat, regardless of what I'm going after, because there's going to be a couple of them in here, and as soon as you aggro one of them, they're all going to end up attacking you, which will end up resulting in more blood being consumed than you intend to for one particular tame. So please make sure that you bring extra blood packs so that you don't end up halfway through a tame and then end up losing it due to the fact that you ended up with more blood being consumed than you thought you were going to use. So always bring extra. I always start with at least 100. So you're just going to travel along inside of these caves. There are some scorpions and some spiders and some titanoboas in here that are going to make this a little bit of a challenge, but it's not going to be anything too hardcore. So crossbow is all I really needed to make sure that I was safe. You're also going to need something to aggro the bats, because they're way up there on the ceiling and you're way down here on the ground. They won't aggro onto you unless they can actually see you or if they are threatened by you. So when I see a bat that I actually like, and it is a little bit hard, so turn your gamma up if you can, I am going to pull out my gun and I'm going to shoot it. So this one is a level 130, which is perfect for what I intend to do with it. It's going to start my breeding line. This by no means is going to be a perfect tame. There are steps that you can take to get a perfect tame, such as using Mosa chops or whatever, but I don't actually care about a perfect tame because I'm just going to use this one for scrap breeding. I've got several others that are perfect tames, and there's a lot of videos out there that will help out with that, such as Nooblit's channels. He does a real good video on how to do these perfect tames, but we don't need that for any of the purposes that we're going to use them for, which this one's going to be my taming mount. So my plan is for this one to probably end up dying eventually anyways. So we're going to end up going ahead and taming it up. We just need the blood in our last slot in our hotbar, and what's going to end up happening is the bat's going to just be drinking the blood out of the hotbar, and he's going to drop you. So parachutes might be extremely useful for you in this situation as well, because if you don't have the parachutes, you may end up falling to your death prematurely, because these bats do take a second to pick you back up. So parachute up and just float. This will also keep you out of the way of any kind of mean creatures that are on the ground that might try to kill you as soon as you hit the ground. So the parachute keeps you in the air. The bats will keep picking you up over and over again while you're descending back to the ground. So really you only need 1 or 2 of these, but I always bring about 5 of them just in case, because you never know when a bat might decide that it's not going to eat for a little bit, and you might just end up falling and actually making it to the ground without ever fully taming the bat. So bring a couple parachutes, otherwise you're probably going to end up dying, because these bats are going to take you all the way up as high as they can and let you go. If you end up taming them out in the wilds, it's not in a cave, the drop can be all the way from the absolute top of the map, so you could very easily wind up dead. So parachutes are the number 1 thing that I have to advise you on if you're going to be trying to tame these bats. So you're just going to end up repeating the process over and over and over again. It's going to keep grabbing you, picking you up, dropping you, and draining the blood. So as it does so, you're just going to keep hovering around, and they're just going to keep picking you back up and drinking the blood out of your hotbar. So I've tamed this first one here, but the second one is also on me as well, and also taming. And since I'm going to need something to use as cannon fodder when I start doing some of my taming later, and it's really good for purposely doing that, I'm going to go ahead and just let the other one suck my blood as well, so that I can go ahead and tame it up whenever I feel like taking more risks with the bat, such as cave runs and stuff like that, which we will see is really important to us later on in the game, especially when we want to start gathering the artifacts so that we can start doing boss runs. So getting both of these is not a terrible idea. They're low level. I didn't invest a lot of resources in them, so if they die on a cave run, it doesn't really matter. But that's really all there is to it. They're just going to keep sucking my blood until both of them are tamed. And make sure you keep those parachutes hotbarred so that you don't end up dead. But that pretty much does it. I've got both of these guys tamed now, and we are going to be ending up leaving the cave as soon as I can get them to stop aggroing on each other so I can finish up taming that second one. Alright, here he goes, his last feeding probably. Once he drops me, we'll be good to get out of here. So he's taking me quite a ways away. Please make sure once again you've got those parachutes because he's going to drop you. You're going to fall to your death otherwise. So nice controlled splash down in the water. If you splash down in the water, be really careful because titanoboas spawn in the water in this map, and there has been many times when I've tried to tame these bats and I get swarmed by titanoboas in the water. As long as you are moving at a decent pace, you should be okay. But just be aware of it. There are titanoboas, and sometimes they do spawn in the water, which sucks because if they knock you out, you are going to drown there, and your bats are going to be stuck over the water, and bats are really the only thing that can fly in a cave, so it's not going to be a fun experience. So grab your tames, roll out, head to wherever you're going. If you guys found this video to be at all helpful for you, please consider dropping me a like here. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out astronomically when it comes to getting more viewership for the videos. Thank you very much, and I will see you all again in the next one.